In the meantime, let's talk to John in Georgia. John,
Yes.
you're talking to Eric and V. What would you like to talk about today?
How y'all doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Number one, V, you have a sexy name. And Eric, I'm glad to hear you're back on your meds.
Well, I appreciate that, John. How can we help you today?
Yes.
I can be sexy too.
Well, okay. Well, maybe you can, but living here in the South, we're into people who are, big time on the Bible and everything, of course. But when you read the Old Testament, you read stuff like 1 Samuel 15:3, where God himself orders the killing of children and babies.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of like, to me, like, you kill babies? Now, I have never heard the explanation to why it's okay for God to kill them. But I guess it would be God knows the future. He knows that those babies will grow up to go to hell because they'll kill those too. So he takes them out already. That doesn't make sense to me, but I wanted to get y'all's take on that. Have y'all ever heard any arguments, and what are y'all's rebuttals?
Yeah, good question. I've heard a bunch of different arguments to that, and none of them have really sat well with me. One is kind of similar to what you were saying. God knows the future, and he knows that they would grow up to be bad people, so he kills them before they can be bad people so that they can go to heaven anyway, which to me is weird, because that doesn't really justify killing innocent children. And secondly, okay, so if it is indeed a blessing to be killed as an infant, if you're going to be a bad person later in life, why not just do that to everybody? And then why are there humans at all? Like, can we all just like not even exist and go straight to heaven? Like, is that an option? Why are we here? So that opens up lots of other questions. Another explanation that I've been given on this show, even in the last few weeks, has been God has a right to, because he also created those babies. And so because he created the babies, he gets to kill the babies. And that's also problematic. And the explanation that they use a lot of the time is, well, if you're an author and you write a book and you kill the character in the book, nobody blames you because you created the character and you're the author and it's a book. So, you didn't actually commit murder. But the concern there becomes, well, those book characters are words on a page, right? They're not conscious living beings. The second that a book character can become conscious, killing that book character becomes a whole lot more morally ambiguous. So those are the two biggest explanations or excuses that I've gotten, and kind of where I fall on responding to those. Eric, how about you?
You took the words out of my mouth. I really don't have much to add other than rephrasing things that you've said. So I'm just going to go, yes.
Yeah, V, that was a great explanation. I loved it too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully that helps.
It does. Thanks for the call. And
Thank you,
more people in.
Thank you, John.
Will do. We've got a lot of people on the line.
Yeah.
So that call started a serious thing in the live chat, and I just want to address it very quickly. So seriously appreciate the sexy comments. That's very nice. That said, as a general ACA rule across the live chats, we try and discourage commenting on the looks of hosts, because it can be really, really uncomfortable for a lot of people who are hosts of our various shows. And so, as in solidarity with, and as a way to create a general rule, that way it doesn't have to be a different set of rules for every single show. We do discourage talking about people's looks. Love you. I love it, but we can't do it. So thank you.
Also, just to kind of revisit that, because I think we sped through that, which is awesome because we do have other calls, but when someone makes a statement or gives you an explanation that somehow sits wrong with you, The best thing you can do is follow it to its logical conclusion all the way. Go all the way down that rabbit hole and see where it leads you. Because more often than not, and I say this as somebody who used to do this all the time, the person giving you that explanation probably has not done that. Probably they've gotten about halfway and been like, okay, well, this seems to make sense. I'm going to go think about something else now. And they haven't done the work of going all the way down. Okay, what does this imply? What would the world look like if this were true in a consistent way? And does that world make any sense with my worldview? And more often than not, the answer is no. And that question by itself, okay, how does this reach a logical conclusion and can it, will get people on a track towards thinking about potentially very harmful beliefs, like it's okay to kill babies if you're a god.
Mhm. And yeah, especially that reasoning. I brought you into this world. I can take you out of it. That is
Right.
just terrifying. Yeah, we definitely don't allow parents to murder their children